Welcome to the Cash Pay Podcast, the go-to podcast for med spas, IV therapy clinics, and wellness practices ready to grow, scale, and lead in the cash pay medical space. I'm your host, Hillary Small, founder of the MedSpa Society. I've branded, developed, and launched practices across the U.S., and I'm still in the trenches every day working alongside practice owners just like you. The show is honest, authentic, and built on real-world experience. Each week, you'll get expert strategies and unfiltered insights on marketing, operations, cutting-edge treatments, patient experience, and more, so you can run a profitable, efficient, and rewarding business. Let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to the Cash Pay Podcast. I'm your host, Hillary Small, founder of the MedSpa Society. Today, we're going to talk about avoiding agency regret, what you should know and what you should ask before hiring a marketing partner for your med spa or wellness practice. If you're just starting out or you're already in business, choosing the right marketing partner is one of the most important decisions you'll make. And today, I'm going to walk you through what to look for in a strategic marketing agency that can take you from brand development all the way to launch and beyond with full transparency, no hostage contracts, and expert support every step of the way. What led me to want to record this episode are conversations I have been having with med spa owners who are working with marketing partners or agencies that have essentially overpromised and underdelivered. And this is a common thing that is happening, especially in this industry, but it has been happening since the beginning of time, since I have been working in marketing agencies. My first experience working in a marketing agency 20 years ago, that's what I did. That's where I started my career, working at a boutique agency where we served very demanding, high profile clients. So we did not have the option to overpromise and underdeliver because while that wasn't our business model, we also were held to a very high standard based on the type of clients that we worked with. And when I say full service agency, it means we did everything from brand development, marketing, advertising, planning advertising. We had analysts on staff to understand, what was performing. And this was back before all of the sophisticated tools that exist now existed. So we were, again, held to a very high standard. And that is where I come from. So I don't really know any different. So what I suspect is happening in the agency landscape now is that these people who are running the agencies in a lot of cases may not really understand overpromise, underdeliver. They haven't been held to a higher standard from what they have been doing and how they have been running their business. I also think that a lot of the companies that are specifically geared towards med spa wellness practices, they have recognized an opportunity in a market that has a lot of money to spend. And so, okay, let's start a business. Let's start an agency. It's easy to start an agency. You can start an agency with not a lot of money, and you can be successful to a point. But once you start bringing clients on because you have a good sales process and you're running ads, you start bringing these clients on and onboarding them. Once you get too many, it's really hard to scale and maintain quality. So that is what I believe is happening, unfortunately. And because the barrier to entry as an agency is so low, that's why there's so many of them. And it's really hard to distinguish the good from the bad because a lot of them are really good marketers and they have a great sales team. So I'm going to go through some of the things that you need to look for and ask when you are vetting these companies to work with you as your marketing partner. To start off with, if you're just launching your practice, it is going to take a lot of stress off of you to work with a full service company that has niche expertise in the med spa and wellness space. They are going to help not only brand your business and do it in a way that will make you stand out because they know the market. They know exactly what it takes to do so. You want to choose someone that can take you from brand development to launch, including everything from naming, identity, website, marketing, advertising. If you do that and you look for somebody that can help you with everything and coordinate with your interior designers and other teams you might be working with to build out your space, or potentially even consult on those things in line with the brand, this is going to avoid fragmentation and ensure that everything is aligned. And I will have future episodes that talk about brand development and what should really be included when you are naming your practice, doing the due diligence, doing the research. But these are the basic things that you want to think about and look for if you are just starting out. Having one company that can truly help you without that fragmentation will really take a lot of stress off of you in a time where you're probably doing many other things. Something else that's important to look for when you are hiring a marketing partner, an agency, is continuity in who's working your account. So a lot of times you'll be on a sales call with people who do just that. They sell the company its services and they do a really great job of it. So they're pitching you. And in that pitch process, you don't know who is going to be managing your account. And this is really important because of the quality of the work and the how long things take and the back and forth is really dependent on who is managing it and executing it. So, looking for seasoned long term team members or continuity from the person that you're speaking to in that initial stage throughout, who is going to be working on your account, is going to be a key to its success. One of the other things you need to think about and look for is transparency and ownership and access. So, anything you pay for, your website, graphics, you should own, and it should explicitly state this in your contract. You should be an admin of your accounts on all of your platforms like Google Analytics, Google Ads, all of the Google properties, on Meta, on your ads account on Meta. You should be the one that has the logins, that has the passwords, that is the admin on all of these accounts. When it comes to running ads, they should also run under your account, not the agency's account. What happens when you're running ads on an agency account and not yours? A couple things. If you're paying a flat rate, you don't know how much money is actually being spent on ads. That's the first thing. The second thing is that if they're running those ads on their account and not yours, you do not have the historical data for another agency potentially if you were to move away from that company to see what had been happening. You don't have the analytics, you don't have that data to really look at and rely on and know how your ads were performing. So that is really important. And going back to the transparency when it comes to your website, when it comes to your website, you should always be an admin of whatever platform they're building your site on. You should always have control of it. A lot of times, what's happening is because the website can be an investment in the beginning, the fee for the website is being spread over a period of time, likely 12 months, sometimes 18 months. And the fine print will tell you that until these payments are satisfied, you do not own the website. And then sometimes when it comes time to give the notice and in the contract, it is just not a seamless process to transition that site to your ownership. Some questions to ask when you are interviewing an agency, these are just some basic questions. So if you're working with them when it comes to brand development, what's included in that brand development package? Obviously, it's going to be relative to how much you're paying. So if you know that you are only paying for a logo and a business card, which is definitely not something I would recommend, but that is what you're paying. Again, is going to be relative to what that brand development package is going to include. Another question is, will I own my website and assets at the end, or once it's developed, designed, and launched? Or when will I have ownership of my website? Another question, are ads run under my accounts? Can I view performance directly? Can I log into my accounts? Next, who exactly will be managing my account and what is their experience? And lastly, how is data handled if I use your CRM? Will I have access after we part ways? This is something else that I want to get into just a little bit. So, what's happening with some of these agencies who are just focusing on digital advertising? They are using a CRM, and it is probably the same one that a lot of the other companies are using. And that data in that CRM, first of all, it should be HIPAA compliant. That's the first thing. The second thing is that if you are to part ways from the agency, will this data be yours? And the perfect situation is that they would just transfer the account if your new agency has that same platform to the agency's account, or they will do an export of the data in that CRM so that you will have it. And this is just important because if the stages of a particular person or persons that are being managed through that CRM, what stage were they in? What treatments have they had? There's a lot of things that can be tracked through a CRM platform that is being used to nurture leads for your business that you are going to want that data. It is valuable data. Okay, so those are some of the basic questions to ask when you're interviewing a marketing partner or an agency. Here are some red flags to watch out for: long term contracts where you don't own assets until the end, agencies offering payment plans disguised as contracts, no visibility into platforms where your data and dollars live, and CRM systems you can't transfer or access independently. So this was a quick episode and a quick rundown, but really my goal with it is to open the eyes of business owners and just help you understand that not all agencies or marketing partners are created equal. You need to read between the lines, know that there are other great partners out there. Don't let a bad one or even a few bad ones make you think that there aren't good partners out there for you to work with, because there are. So if you're in the early stages of building your med spa or you're ready to take your brand to the next level, make sure you're working with a partner who values your ownership, understands your niche, and helps you grow with clarity. If you want support building a timeless, scalable med spa brand, head to themedspa society.com, or you can connect with us on Instagram at MedSpa Society. Again, thank you for listening to this episode of the Cash Pay Podcast. If you found today's information valuable, please subscribe, rate, leave a review. It helps us bring you more insightful episodes. Thank you, and see you in the next episode.